What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the HnH Podcast. I am your co-host, Humzah Rana, joined by my older brother, Huzaifa Z. Rana, back at again for another week. Like we mentioned before, every week we're posting videos, we're grinding, we're trying to be able to put out the best content for you guys. Yeah, another week, another day. Before I actually get into something first, I'm gonna let's just hear how Huzaifa's doing. Huzaifa, how are you, my guy?
I'm doing well, man. Honestly, I've been better. This has been for the both of us. It's been a tough weekend for sure. With the Cowboys and other games that happen in the world. I'll let you touch on that here in a second. But it's been a frustrating weekend from a football perspective. However, for people who don't know, I'm actually the offensive coordinator for the high school here in Ottawa, Ashbury College, and we picked up a big win to start off our season, 48-7. And we have a big game coming up this Saturday, our homecoming game. So I've been coaching there for about 2 years now, which has been a lot of fun being able to call plays and kind of make your own schemes. So that was our one and only victory this weekend between the both of us. And obviously a super frustrating Dallas Cowboys game, losing 31-14 to the Chicago Bears. And it looked like Peyton Manning was at quarterback for the Bears, not Caleb Williams.
Mm-hmm.
I guess anyone playing against our Cowboys secondary right now will look like a Hall of Famer. And we will touch on that in a second. But Humzah, I'll kick it off to you as you may have something to say here to our viewers and everyone watching.
Yeah, so we actually had a pretty fun weekend despite the games. As a family, we went over to Hamilton. For our American viewers, I think we have some American viewers. Just another city in our province. You guys call it state, whatever. Going to see family that live in a city like literally 20 minutes away. Had a pretty fun time. Haven't seen them in quite a while, so it's pretty cool seeing that. And then I had a football game that weekend against Hamilton. I mentioned before I played for the Ottawa Sooners. And then we had a game. Was I was playing all right. I had a couple good throws here and there. Made a couple bad decisions and threw. I think I threw 2 interceptions or whatever. Wasn't my best season. Wasn't my best game. But later on in the game, I have unfortunately have torn my MCL in my right knee. It's not fully torn. It's a partial tear. Still hurts a lot. Recovery is going to take up to 6 to 10 weeks. Have to be on crutches for about a month. Definitely not fun at all. I hate being injured. For those that don't know, I also teared my ACL and my meniscus completely about 5 years ago, and my left knee. So now this is my right knee with my MCL different. There's four ligaments in your knee. You have or five, whatever. You have your LCL, you have your PCL, your ACL, and your MCL, and then your meniscus is kind of in the back. I tore the inside part of my knee, which is your MCL. So yeah, fortunate. Can't really show you guys that I'm in a bit of a brace. But yeah, that's super unfortunate. I hate not being able to walk. For like, it's actually so tiring to use crutches up and down the stairs or even walking around. Like I'm gassed every time I use it, and I don't know how I'm gonna be going across campus in crutches. At my second step, I'm gonna be gone. So yeah, that was unfortunate news. And I also found out that day that Cowboys were getting BTA against the Bears, so it was a horrible day. So yeah,
So,
super unfortunate.
so I know I speak for not only for myself as an older brother, but also everyone watching and everyone who knows you. Everyone knows that you're an extremely tough guy. And you've battled through injuries in the past, and this is just another obstacle. But everyone's super proud of you and what you've accomplished in your career in football. And we don't know if it's done right now, but everyone's super proud. As an older brother, I'm extremely proud of you. And this is just a small obstacle, another hurdle. As someone like myself whose football career was cut short due to an injury, I can tell you it's not easy, it's not fun, but the biggest thing you can do is rely on your support system. Obviously, we have loving parents and family, and I'm here, and there's obviously coaches and people that you love and trust. So everyone here is rooting for you. This is just a small hiccup, but enough about that stuff because it's gonna get emotional here. But after your injury, we were in the car and we turned on the Cowboys. So it's actually a really tough day because we're all super excited for Humzah's game. We all drove to Hamilton, and obviously Humzah suffered that injury. Went down to the field, got him into a wheelchair, got him to our car, and we're starting our journey back to Ottawa. And we turned on the Cowboys game, and it was a straight beat down. Like
Literally, the first play that I saw was, what was it? I think it was, or 2 plays after, it was a DJ Moore touchdown where Malik Hooker just shifted to the, like, I don't know what the hell he did. But there was zero pressure, and Caleb Williams just found him wide open in that zone.
So it was tough. It looked like the Bears had just come off the Super Bowl, and they absolutely, like Humzah said, BTA belt to you know what against our defense and our team as a whole. And adding on top of that, I want to talk about a little bit of the game. Our secondary, obviously, Humzah, it needs some work. There's some clear-cut issues with communication or coverage. I'm not sure what's happening there. Obviously, we do not have a pass rush at all. And on top of all that, the loss, our defense not performing well. Our best player, CeeDee Lamb, suffered a high ankle sprain. He is out. I think it's now. I don't know. There's some different reports here. Can you confirm? Is it 3 to 4 weeks or is it 4 to 6
So
weeks?
the original report was 4 to 8 weeks, and then the most recent one, I believe, was 3 to 4.
Okay, so 3 to 4 weeks for CeeDee Lamb, which is like absolutely devastating. The good news is it doesn't look like he's going to go on IR, so he should be back by that 4-week mark. But that's just a devastating loss. It feels like every year the Cowboys go through an injury that's devastating to our team, not just like a random
Kenny
player.
Clark.
And Kenny Clark, yeah. He also got injured as well. But there's also another guy who got injured, which we'll get to in a sec. But from the Cowboys, it always feels like
I forgot about
not always someone getting injured, but it's always an important player. It's always someone who has value to our team at a very high level. So CeeDee Lamb's injured, and we'll touch on what that means for George Pickens here in a second. But after the game, it was reported that our rookie right guard. Are you good?
What's this? Oh, it's a hole. I thought it was like.
Keep your arms down. After the game, it was reported that Tyler Booker. He also has a high ankle sprain, a little bit deeper. He's out 4 to 6 weeks. Looks like he might be going on IR. Devastating. Just honestly, when it's not fair, man. Like Cowboy fans, we go through so much. We don't win, and now we're getting injured. And now, guess who's coming to town this weekend? Some player for the Green Bay Packers is not even that good. He is coming back. This is like, just dominoes keep falling. For Cowboys haters, you guys must love this. This is your paradise because you like to root for our team's failure more than you cheer for your own teams. So you guys are loving this. For us, Humzah, devastating. What are your thoughts on CeeDee Lamb getting injured, and what can you see for George Pickens now with this opportunity for him to kind of be that number one receiver? Thank you, Pittsburgh.
So I don't even know what happened. I saw the clip of just him, CeeDee Lamb getting his ankle rolled over, but I had no idea it was a freaking run play of him out at running back. I had no idea. That was like, I don't even know. Saw them like, damn. And then he even tried to get back on the field. And he ran like a little wheel or whatever. And then he was limping off after. I'm like, okay, damn, that sucks. Then Tyler Booker goes down with already our starting center. Cooper Beebe was also already out for about 4 to 6 weeks as well. So that's super unfortunate. And then Kenny Clark went down. I think he'll be back this week. But
yeah,
this man, if you want to just list the name of players that are injured right now for Dallas, you have DeRon Bland, who's out. We may see him this week or the next week. CeeDee Lamb, our star wide receiver. Not to mention that DeRon Bland is our best cornerback because holy. Okay, CeeDee Lamb, he's out. Our starting center, Cooper Beebe, was a 3rd-round pick last year. Tyler Booker was a 1st-round pick this year. There's our center and our guard that's gone. Oh, no, itchy. And then our 5th guy, again, he's been out all year, but DeMarvion Overshown was one of our best defensive players. And we won't see him back until... Oh my God, sorry, my nose itchy. We won't see him back until probably
It's
week 10, week 9.
maybe before Thanksgiving, they say.
Yeah, so
American Thanksgiving.
it is just super, super unfortunate with the amount of injuries that are just happening to his team. And then going back to the question that you asked me, what does this do for George Pickens? Well, actually, people might say this is going to open a lot, but honestly, it kind of gives him less of not target share, but it's kind of harder for him to get the right opportunities now because the reason why you bring in a guy like George Pickens to take off the leverage off CD Lamb. With George Pickens and CD, it's like we saw it in the first 2 weeks. There's a lot of mix and match. We saw CD kind of being the everywhere receiver, if that makes any sense. Playing in the slot, he's playing on the outside, he's catching the ball in the middle of the field, catching the short routes, he's catching the deep balls. And George Pickens was a deep threat, and then we also saw him a little bit as well, catching the medium to short range throws. But now with his injury, it's okay. Focus on George Pickens. He's going to be the number one priority. Also, someone coming up, Kavonte Turpin, who's actually been playing pretty well. Maybe that might give some leverage off George Pickens. But for George Pickens as well, this is a contract year for him. This is now the make or break of are we going to give you that money? Are we going to give you the T. Higgins money? T. Higgins got paid $25 million or $30 million, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm about to drop T. Higgins in my fantasy football. Like he will be a waiver wire pickup for anyone. This guy is pissing me off. But sorry, continue. Sorry.
We'll talk about fantasy later.
My gosh.
Yeah, so this is a big couple weeks for Pickens. He really needs to step up. And I'm going to say this right now. I don't care what anyone says. Dak Prescott has only thrown one interception all year. The first interception he threw to Drew Phillips, the ball was literally on the floor. We can put up a little picture right here. That ball was on the floor. No idea why there was no review. Literally, that one doesn't count.
It's corruption.
George Pickens has one of the best hands in the NFL. And it goes right off his hands. Right into Tremaine Edmonds' arms. Just dives on it. And that's another interception. That's two BS interceptions.
Yeah,
like
Dak, and then he threw the one in the end zone, which was a bad ball.
Exactly. So Dak only has one interception thrown. He felt bad for the Bears. Bears are 0-2. Bachara. He just wanted to help them out.
No, listen to this. And only Cowboy fans will understand this, and I really hope they're listening to this part. Like Dak's interceptions, and we've talked about it so many times. Mm-hmm. His interceptions are the most. I'm not biased right now. Like I'm being serious. They are the most unluckiest interceptions of all time. Yeah. Like remember the one against the Jaguars? Like Noah Brown off his hand right into the hands of the Jaguars. Pick six. Like, are you kidding me? And then there's so many.
Even the one that last year against the Saints, Jalen Brooks, this guy slips on a dig route.
Yeah,
like it goes right into the defender. I mean, Dak has some bad ones, but dude, he has a lot of bad ones that didn't go his way.
Unlucky. Like George Pickens is never. And we saw, and then I got a couple messages saying, "Oh, the George Pickens crash out finally happened." Oh, we were waiting for this.
Listen. So much context that has to be covered before.
Exactly, and like so you're saying every single player who gets frustrated on the sidelines is a crash out, right?
Mm-hmm. It's only because he's wearing a shicey. I'm telling you, it is George Pickens.
I know George. So I like your analysis on Pickens, and we're not going to go too deep into this game because Ben Johnson decided to be the best offensive coordinator of all time, and give them credit. The Chicago Bears put on a show. Our defense sucks right now; like it's so bad. We're 1-2. It is what it is. A lot of Cowboy fans are already giving up on the season. It's 1-2. Obviously, we have a really tough opponent this week coming up, but it's a game of football, man. It's week to week. The Green Bay Packers lost to the Cleveland Browns last week. Micah Parsons went offside, and it caused a second field goal.
Popped by Quinshon Judkins and
so like it's a week to week league, and the Cowboys will hopefully they handle business this weekend against a very tough team. I think the spotlight heading with Micah Parsons coming back to Dallas. No tribute video. It's going to be must-watch TV, and the Cowboys can shock the world and pull something off here, which would be great. I am usually the optimistic Cowboy fan, so we will see what happens. But you never know, truly. But quickly, before we move on to our next topic, I think this will actually open up a lot for George Pickens. I think now this is why you get a guy like that, right? And I understand your point where, like, you got him to help counter with CD, but now it gives him the opportunity to be that number one. And he's a great vertical threat. I think Dak and his volume with him is going to increase, of course. And who's going to shine through all this? I think is a guy like Jake Ferguson. He had 13
He's
catches.
been playing actually very well.
Yeah.
Someone actually surprised me. I used to hate on Ferguson a little bit
I
because
don't know why you did. I don't know.
no, the reason is I think he got paid a little bit too early before we actually saw what he was going to do.
Well, I saw him hurdle a guy a couple years ago, and I saw him talk trash to Jamal Adams, and that was enough for me. So he's gonna have I think a great couple weeks with CeeDee Lamb out. And do you want to talk about the Javonte Williams fumble in the beginning, or no?
Oh yeah, I didn't even
Or the
see
flea
that.
flicker. Pick one. Williams fumble or the flea flicker? That was like.
Okay, hold on. Let's actually talk about the defense really, like super quickly before we move on to our next segment. Matt Eberflus. I genuinely do not understand. We literally saw what First of all, Russell Wilson just got benched. By the way, Jackson Dart is now the starter.
Yeah, but against us, he was a Hall of Famer.
Giants. By the way, for people that don't know, we actually met Brian Dable. He said he really liked Jackson Dart, so there you go. Boom.
This is true sources.
You should fix your door. We'll talk about that after. No blitzes. It's just zone and relieving guys like Jack Sanborn and Donovan Wilson and zone coverage. We thought, we can't leave Donovan Wilson as a one high safety because he'll get destroyed. Even as a freaking nickel, in our nickel formation when he's a nickel corner or on the opposite side because whatever. Or as a low safety, you know what I mean. He's still getting cooked. Even the fleet figure Kyrie Elam literally ran full speed to get him to run, and then Malik Hooker can't tackle Luther Burden. It's just ridiculous. And Caleb Williams had all day. He had all day. Like I don't think he had one pressure from Donovan Nzaraku and somehow jumped up and threw it, made a crazy throw.
When we were in the car after injury and everyone was super sad and we're driving back home, I turned on my phone and they showed a highlight, and I didn't see the play, and I saw the flea flicker. I was like, all right.
Yeah, only to Dallas. Like Ben Johnson only destroys Dallas.
It doesn't make any sense. And we'll move on to our next topic. But the Cowboys defensively, they have to improve. They have to play Marius Leofau. We've said it since day one. Mm-hmm. It seems like it's like a coaching, like it's like your coach's son type of relationship where Jack Sanborn is playing almost every play. You need a guy like Marius Leofau in there. You got to change it around. And Coach Brian Schottenheimer did say that there will be some changes this week. So we'll leave it at that. Hopefully the Cowboys can respond. Let's get ready to shock the world. Hopefully this Sunday, and we're not speaking next week after another BTA game by the Green Bay Packers. So we'll see how that goes.
So we also have some breaking news that happened earlier this morning. Kind of shocking, honestly. The Houston Texans have released safety C.J. Gardner-Johnson. They recently traded for him in the offseason. From the Philadelphia Eagles. There was a draft pick compensation, and they traded their guard, Kenyon Green or something. I think that's his name. To the Eagles in return for C.J. Gardner-Johnson, and he gets released by week 3. As a Cowboys fan, as someone who is, I am a bit biased, but someone who seen this team struggle so much in zone coverage and struggle having a proper safety, this brings a lot of attention to me. If you can get a guy like C.J. Gardner-Johnson, also think about it as a motivational way. C.J. Gardner-Johnson was absolutely heartbroken when he left the Eagles. He said it multiple times on multiple podcasts that he cannot believe that he just got traded just like that. He thought Philly was going to be his home. Why not go to the division rival of the Philadelphia Eagles? Come to Jerry's World. You're staying in state. He got released in Houston. You're staying in Texas. You're just down the road. You're a couple hours away. Come to Dallas, and he could it'd be a fresh start for him as well.
Yeah.
Being in Dallas, we need another guy. We need another safety. We saw a little bit from Wanye Thomas, but dude, in my opinion, if I'm Dallas, if I'm Jerry, just get him. Just sign C.J. Gardner-Johnson right now.
It's interesting because he does play with a little bit of an edge. He's got a little bit of that attitude. He can talk a lot of trash. I don't mind it. I think there's a guy like Justin Simmons who hasn't been signed all year. I would prefer a guy like Justin Simmons. I know he's a little older, but He's a great player. He's a veteran. He understands, I think, a little bit more. And Wanye Thomas and Marquise Bell are in our system, and they play well. They're good players. They're just not getting the opportunity to play. So, at this point, if CJ Gardner Johnson does join the Dallas Cowboys or whatever happens, again, every player that's released is always rumored to come to Dallas, and they end up never coming. I was shocked to see Jadeveon Clowney get actually signed, and apparently the guy got arrested last week for parking somewhere. But I think that's, I
Parking.
think that is all solved now. So hopefully we see him this week. But yeah, it's an interesting point. CJ Gardner Johnson, is he better than the guys we have now? Yeah, I do think so. But um, we'll have to see. We'll have to see what these guys do. But Humzah, we'll move on to the next topic, and we'll quickly touch on some other games this week because we're not going to talk about the Cowboys anymore. Embarrassing effort, they will respond. But Humzah, I'll let you go first. Any games that kind of stood out? Obviously, we were traveling, so any highlights you watched or stuff that you kept up with overall? I'll let you go first with any games.
Yeah, yesterday. Well, we're filming on a Tuesday. Monday night. Detroit Lions versus Baltimore Ravens. That was a great game. I had Lamar Jackson in one league, and I had Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown in my other league, courtesy of Rana giving him both Jared Goff and Amon-Ra to me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I love that game. Also, quick little story. I have Lamar Jackson in one league, and I'm also going up against Mark Andrews. So when they brought it down to a 1 touchdown lead, the Ravens were down 2 touchdowns, and Baltimore scores. I'm like, yes, they score and take it. I'm only up by like 1 point against this guy. And then he throws a touchdown to Mark Andrews. I'm like, oh my God, there's no way. And I only won the game that week by 1 point, luckily. And he had the kicker too, of Baltimore. So he had the extra point, and then he had the Mark Andrews touchdown. But I forgot what else happened. But I was still able to win by 1 point. But dude, no defense played in that game. They went back and forth in the first half between the Lions and the Ravens. It was 38-31. Why are you giving me that face?
No defense played in that game, Humzah?
It was 38-31.
Did you not see the Detroit Lions defense?
No, I'm saying,
sacks?
dude, listen. Let me get to my point first.
Okay, well, that's okay.
Like I said, there was no defense played in the first half.
You didn't say first half. You said the game.
They went back and forth. Well, dude, it's the highest scoring game, 38-31.
It's very high scoring, but you have Lamar Jackson, the Baltimore Ravens offense. Of course, it's going to be high scoring.
Mm-hmm.
But 7 sacks. And Al-Qadim Muhammad, this guy, was on Dallas last year as a tryout, and Dallas released him, and he gets 2 sacks. He goes crazy the whole game. I'll let you finish, sir. I took over, but the defense for the Detroit Lions went off.
No, I'm just saying it was a really entertaining game on both sides, whatever defense, whatever. But yeah, Amon-Ra St. Brown looked great. Lamar Jackson is looking like the best quarterback in football right now, but fortunate with the circumstances. He's 1-2. And I don't know what's going on with Derrick Henry. I think he's fumbled every single week so far in like the fourth quarter. Yeah, I don't know. And also David Montgomery played one hell of a game as well. Yeah, I think the Lions, I think we said it earlier, when the Lions lost week 1 in the Green Bay were like, yo, Lions might be the worst team in the division.
I know.
They instantly take it back. Lions are looking legit. And the Ravens will bounce back.
The whole story, right, was Ben Johnson leaving, and they're using that as motivation, I think. And all this talk about Ben Johnson this, Ben Johnson that. I don't think I've ever heard an offensive coordinator, play caller mention more than Ben Johnson has. So they use that, right? And that offense going up, like they win for it, 4th and 2 at the 50-yard line, and they throw a 30-yard corner out to Amon-Ra St. Brown, and they complete that. That's just like, the football team is truly the identity of their head coach, and give credit to them. They're looking legit. That was a really good game. Another game that kind of stood out for me, I have it right here, was the Chargers and the Broncos. So the Chargers, man, they're now 3-0. And Denver, who I had my AFC West winners, I still think there's time. But yeah, they fell to 1-2. Justin Herbert, 28 for 47, 300 yards, 1 touchdown. Keenan Allen having a great year right now. Yet another touchdown for him. Cortland Sutton had a great game, but the Broncos are now 1-2, and I think that's a little bit more concerning than people are going to give them credit for. But that was an interesting game for me. Another game, Humzah, that stood out for me was the Eagles and the Rams, man. That was this game, man. I was getting notifications that the Rams were up by so much. Like the Rams were up. They blocked field goal to end the game for the Eagles, the luckiest team in the world. Like I don't understand how lucky this team is.
Imagine being
Uh,
Jalen Hurts.
yeah, we'll get to that in a little bit here. But Eagles, they're 3-0. The Rams fall to 2-1. But overall, Hamza, what do you think about that game? I thought that was a pretty two great teams in the NFC, two teams that kind of stood out and had a great week.
I didn't really watch the game that much, but one thing I will say is Puka Nacua is the real deal. So happy I took him in all my fantasy drafts. So happy.
He's legit. And
dude, Jordan Davis was moving so quick. He was moving so fast.
He wanted to score, man. He wanted to score.
And AJ Brown finally scored. Finally did something.
Good for him. Another game, Humzah, and we'll quickly run through some highlight games. Is Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man. We talked about last week, right, against the game against Houston on Monday Night Football. Baker Mayfield, 19 for 29, 233, and a touchdown. A thriller game to end it. Buccaneers, man. And before we actually even get to the Buccaneers, and we forgot to mention this even earlier, was not only the Cowboys are facing injuries, but the rest of the NFL is facing injuries, right? Nick Bosa, season-ending injury. James Conner is out for the year, and I'm getting to the Buccaneers here in a second. Obviously, Jaden Daniels was out, and he didn't play. I'm missing a few others here. Terry McLaurin is also injured. But Mike Evans, he is also out with a hamstring, I believe. Forgive me if it's not the hamstring, but it's something to do with the lower part of the body. He's injured. It's just crazy, man. Like the amount of injuries we're seeing right now, and you see guys like Emeka Abuka start to shine and play in these situations. So these injuries are legit, and it's unfortunate that it's the best players in the league kind of getting these injuries, the star players, the players that put butts on seats, I guess you can say, for lack of a better term. It's unfortunate to see these guys out, but the Buccaneers, man, they're 3-0, and they're looking like they're going to be that team in the NFC South. So.
And also, super quick, we mentioned it earlier, but the most shocking game that weekend was the Browns upsetting the Packers. Dude,
Browns upsetting the Packers, or the Panthers winning 30-0 against the Atlanta Falcons.
I mean, the Falcons. We know the Falcons aren't the greatest team, but I thought, dude, after the first 2 weeks of the Packers, I'm like, dude, this team actually might go to the Super Bowl. But then they go out and lose to the Browns, dude. I mentioned his name a lot, not on the podcast, but in the offseason, as a potential guy that Dallas should keep a lookout in the draft. But dude, Quinshon Judkins, he had himself a game. He had a touchdown. He had 90 yards rushing, around that. I think so. Let me look at it first. Actually, I don't care. I think I saw it. He has about 90 yards rushing. He's looking like a tank. He also destroyed Micah.
94 yards. 94 yards.
He had 94 yards. Perfect. He had a couple runs that he broke free from. Really happy that somebody dropped in my fantasy league week 1. I was able to pick him up as well. But dude, yeah, I know. Quinshon Judkins, man, he's looking good, and the Browns are, the Browns are the Browns. Dude, Myles Garrett though. Oh my God.
Jerry, make the phone call.
Literally, I actually make the phone call.
I also want Super Bowl.
Oh my gosh. I don't know, bro. Imagine we could trade for someone like Max Crosby or something, and we have that capital to do it as well. But that would never happen. But anyways, yeah, that's this past weekend. What about this weekend coming up?
Well, sorry, before we move on to this weekend, Humzah, we'll change up this week, okay? We usually do a QB spotlight. You have every right to still talk about a QB if you would like. But really quickly, Humzah, give me any player. It can be offense, defense, a specific position that kind of stood out to you this week. Do you want to go first or want me to go first?
You can go first.
Okay, there's 2 players I have here. And this guy, man, I'm just pulling it up right here. I don't think he's getting enough attention that he deserves, and he's been playing well, and I'm saying that as well because he's also on my fantasy football team. It's a guy by the name of Ricky Pearsall, wide receiver for the San Francisco 49ers. And there was a lot of talk, obviously, losing Debo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk being injured, and then obviously George Kittle suffering that injury in week one. How's his offense going to respond? And I forgot to even mention Brock Purdy, who he was out as well. Um, but Ricky Pearsall, man, week one, 7 catches, 108 yards, averaged 27 a catch. He didn't get a touchdown there. Actually, I don't think he even has a touchdown all year, or does he? Receiving, rushing. No, it doesn't say that. No touchdowns, but the touchdown production is not there, but it's going to come. And then you go into week two, 6 catches for 56 yards, 14 average. And then last week, 11 catches, 117 yards. His touchdowns are going to happen, but he has been producing at a very, very high level. And I think he deserves a credit here on the HnH podcast. Another player, and it pains me. Like, it actually, like, I can't believe I'm even going to talk about this guy right now because of how lucky he is to be able to have these players around him. But I'm going to take bias aside, and I'm going to be an analyst, put my analyst hat on, and analyze the 3-0 Philadelphia Eagles, and specifically Jalen Hurts. And he's been playing well. 19 for 23 against the Cowboys, 152 yards, 0 touchdowns. He actually only had his first touchdowns for this week. Looking at it right now against the Rams, he had 3 touchdowns. But overall, his completion percentage has been really. Sorry?
Was it to Dallas Goddard or was it a different tight end? Because I also knew he threw a touchdown to AJ Brown, but
Yeah.
I think it was Goddard.
Yeah, whatever it is. He's been playing well, managing the clock. But I'll be critical here. When you have that amount of talent around you, I would hope you produce at the level that you are with Saquon, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith. The offensive line is like, and also if you can run a tush push down the whole field,
dude, they have to change something, dude. They keep false starting every time, or like before they snap the ball, their heads are already moving.
I know,
and they're not calling that.
No, the NFL loves Philadelphia. It's just is a fact. But yeah, it pains me as a Cowboys fan to even like have talking about. So it pains me as a Cowboys fan to talk about the Eagles for more than 20 seconds. But Jalen Hurts, I give you credit. You guys are 3-0, obviously a juggernaut in the NFC. Until the Cowboys come back and pick up a big win this week, and we will be back on top. But Jalen Hurts, I'll give you credit. 3-0, playing some good football. Albeit with all that talent around you. But Humzah, I'll let you go now. I'm just seeing the pick right now of Jordan Davis running.
I'll just pick one guy for this week. And this is someone who a couple years ago was debatably the best running back in the entire league.
Ooh, I know where you're going.
Jonathan Taylor, dude.
Love that.
He's been playing very, very, very well. He had 102 yards rushing last game on 17 attempts, averaging 6 point yards per carry. 3 touchdowns, like I said before. But dude, like I generally don't know, but like the Colts are looking dangerous, man. Like the Colts are looking good. They played against Tennessee this past weekend, but even like against the Broncos a week ago, this guy went nuts. Like he had over 200 yards, over 200 scrimmage yards against the Broncos, and the Broncos had one of the best defenses in the NFL. And yeah, I don't know, man. The Colts are looking dangerous. Jonathan Taylor's looking really good. Yeah, that's all I gotta say about that, man. Jonathan Taylor, he's killing it right now.
I love that, and we'll finish off this segment acknowledging also, and we tend to forget about these games because they were the first game of the week. But Josh Allen, 22 for 28, 213 yards and 3 touchdowns. That team improves to 3-0 as well, albeit against the Miami Dolphins, who I actually had winning that game. It was a closer game than I think a lot of people would give credit for, but he's also playing well. And Carson Wentz as well. Shout out to Carson Wentz. I know I was kind of crapping on him last week, but he played well. Kevin O'Connell did a great job scheming him up, and these are just some highlights that we want to showcase for everyone watching here on the HnH podcast, and we thank you guys for continuing to watch and support us. But as we do every week, we preview the Thursday night game, kind of give a little prediction, what we think, and then we'll also pick. Sorry, what do you say?
There's one more segment.
Oh yeah, there's a big one. You want to do that now, or you want to do the preview?
I'll just do it now before we do
Okay,
not the recap.
you got it. It's all you.
I'll do it quickly. Um, I did it in the second episode. We did college football player recap or college football
Outlook.
player outlook. I did it on Ottawa scored, by the way. Yeah, keep up for that too.
Preseason week 2. Don't worry.
I did Jonah Coleman. Now I'm going to be switching to the opposite side of the field. I'm going to be doing Mansoor Delane, cornerback for LSU, the transfer from Virginia Tech, transfer to LSU this past offseason. And I'm not just saying it because I'm an LSU fan. A lot of people might call me biased for this, but dude, the way he's been playing the first 3 weeks, he's slowly looking like the best corner in college football. I'm Mansoor Delane right now. He's playing great. He is kind of the perfect corner, even for someone like Dallas that we need. Because dude, I don't know, man. Trayvon Diggs, like, how do you slip?
He's not a zone corner for sure.
Mansoor Delane's a bit of everything. He's really good at man coverage. He's also good zone back as well. Again, college game and NFL game is different, but I'm able to acknowledge and appreciate, that type of coverage and that type of skill set to have it as a DB. Even last year, he was projected to go in the second or third round of the NFL draft, but he didn't declare. That's why he transferred. But dude, he's slowly going up the draft boards right now. He's looking really good, looking really sharp. This LSU defense is also looking really good. They're playing against Ole Miss this weekend coming up. Yeah, this is the guy Mansoor Lane who's super twitchy. He's a twitchy corner. Be able to dive in front of the ball, really good zone. Back as well. Like he's just the perfect package. I feel like there's only so much I could say, but that's a guy to keep out for the rest of the season. Hopefully no injuries get in his way. Wishing him the best for the rest of the season. Hopefully, if he keeps this up, might see him in a Cowboys jersey one day. Just saying. But yeah, Mansoor Delane, man, he's looking really good.
I love that for you, Humzah. And there's some big time college games this week, right? I'm pulling up right here: Oregon at Penn State, Alabama at Georgia. I have here as well.
I feel like I always express how much I like LSU, but you haven't told everyone what college team you support.
So listen, I'll be honest with you. I appreciate college football. I'm not a diehard fan of any team really. I will say if I had to pick one team, growing up, I was a big time Marcus Mariota fan. Still am a Marcus Mariota fan. I love the guy. I think he's super underrated. Jealous that he's in Washington. But so growing up, I was a big Mariota fan. So with that, obviously, I liked Oregon, and their jerseys I think are the best in the world. So been an Oregon fan. I would say fan. Yeah, I like Oregon. I appreciate other teams as well, but I'm not any diehard. I'm not gonna cry if they lose, like if the Cowboys lose. So, but I appreciate the Oregon Ducks, and it's gonna be an interesting draft class. We said the quarterbacks this year are looking great, so it should be an exciting weekend of college football, Humzah, and also leading up to we get to the college football playoff, which will be, of course, in a few months. But we'll quickly move on here, Humzah, before we end the podcast. The Thursday night game. What we'll do, Humzah, just because we're on time, we'll we'll talk about the Thursday night game. Who you think is going to win that game? Your thoughts, and then we'll pick one other game each, and then of course we'll finish off previewing the Dallas Cowboys hosting this Green Bay Packers on Sunday night. The return of Micah Parsons. But first, Humzah, Thursday night. The day you're watching this, it will be tonight. Seahawks at Arizona Cardinals. What are your thoughts on the game, Humzah? Division of game. Who do you have taking that, and why?
I'm gonna go with the Seattle Seahawks here. I think the Seattle defense is looking really, really dominant. Coming off 2 big weeks against the victory over the Steelers and then the Saints. A name to keep a lookout for is a wide receiver, Torrey Horton. This guy is looking great. He was a 5th-round pick for the Seahawks from Colorado State. Shout out Michael Gallup, Colorado State legend. Dude, this guy Torrey Horton, he's looking really good. He had a really good punt return. He's a very underrated receiver coming up from this past draft. They're looking good. He's looking good. Sam Darnold is looking really well. Kenneth Walker as well is looking good. But same issue I have with Dallas a little bit, and same issue I have with Kenneth Walker. Javonte Williams, for example, he was averaging like 5 yards, 7 yards per carry. Keep giving him the ball. One thing that Seattle's not doing, Kenneth Walker, he's getting big gains. He's running for a good amount of yards, and they just stop giving him the ball. They sub him out for Charbonnet. This dude, keep feeding Kenneth Walker the ball, man. He's a real deal. Uh, Jackson Smith and the Jigba, and I told you this before when we were making our trade for Amon Ra. Like, you already have your one with JSN.
He's legit.
He's looking really good. Yeah, I have Seattle.
Seahawks. Okay. For me, I also am taking the Seahawks. But I will keep an eye on Trey Benson, running back for the Arizona Cardinals, with James Conner now season-ending injury. I was a big Trey Benson fan coming out of Florida State. I thought he would be a great fit for Dallas, but I expect him to play really well. I'm not only saying that because of his game, but also I picked him up in fantasy football, made a trade for him, so I'm really hoping he plays well. On that, but I will agree with you, and I will take the Seattle Seahawks in that game, Humzah. Moving on, I'm just gonna pull up the rest of the schedule here. Any other games? I'll go first here in terms of another game. Um, I apologize if I took this from you, but I'm really looking forward for the Baltimore Ravens and the Kansas City Chiefs. It's crazy to think that one of these two teams will be 1-3. Of course, obviously, if there's a tie, but there's never any ties. One of these teams will be 1-3, and that would be it's a deep hole. There's only a handful of teams who have come out of a 1-3 hole to make the playoffs. Um, so that will be an exciting game to watch for me. How will Baltimore respond after the beatdown against the Detroit Lions? And the Chiefs beat the Giants, which is, it's the Giants. So we'll see how they play at home. So we'll be at Arrowhead. I'm really looking forward for that game. Mark Andrews, I'm really upset at you. I dropped you in fantasy football. Like, you legit dropped you, and then you decided to go crazy. And Zay Flowers, you didn't do anything for me. So this has been an extremely frustrating week. But I'm excited for that game. Humzah, what game are you keeping an eye on before we preview the big one?
Super quickly, I'm looking at the Buccaneers and the Eagles game, two undefeated teams. One team will go 3-1. Hoping the Buccaneers come out on top on this again. The Eagles K forever. Baker Mayfield's looking good. Emeka Ibuka, we mentioned him before. They're looking good. Bucky Irvin, the entire Bucs defense is looking good. Yeah, we mentioned with the Eagles, Philadelphia Eagles. They're the Eagles. They always look good. Also another game. This is kind of this is a tone setting game on Sunday afternoon, 4:05 p.m. Eastern time for us. The Colts versus the Rams. If the Colts manage to win this game, then I know we talked about not that we need to take the Colts seriously, but genuinely, if the Colts win this game, we actually have to take them seriously as they're legit. They're actually legit. So that's another game to look out for.
All right, Humzah, and we are now going to talk about quickly. And also, we appreciate everyone sticking this far. Really means a lot to us. But probably the biggest game in recent memory for the Cowboys, just with everything surrounding it, all summer, all off seasons, pay Micah Parsons. You and I, hours have discussed this on and off air. Pay Micah Parsons. Obviously, he gets traded in a blockbuster trade to a team that I like. Green Bay has broken my heart so many times. Like, I have literally cried so many times because of Green Bay. It's unbelievable. And now Micah goes to that team. They're pissed after losing last week to the Cleveland Browns. I don't even know where to begin. This is going to be a crazy game. I'm really excited for it. I'll let you go first with your prediction and kind of what you're looking to see offensively, defensively, Humzah, and then I'll finish off on that take.
Super quickly, hopefully that we actually see Jadeveon Clowney make his debut this weekend, which we should. Hopefully Deron Bland is back for this game. Curious to see how the offense does without CD. Of course, that's a huge hit to our offense. Again, Yeah, hopefully we play. What the hell's going on with my voice? Hopefully, a lot more. Hopefully, we have a better scheme defensively. Hopefully, we're in a lot more man. Hopefully, we're setting a lot more blitzes. Um, yeah. And hopefully, we could take Micah. And if Micah sacks Dak, I will be very sad.
If Micah sacks Dak, I might cry. And of course, Tyler Booker, our right guard, has to be injured because Micah Parsons, if people don't know, he likes to line up in the middle as well. Um, I think it's gonna be a lot closer.
Does that mean TJ Bass or
Yeah,
Tyler Bass or
yeah,
something?
it's gonna be
To your
TJ
guard,
Bass, our right guard.
TJ.
Come on, big TJ. Um, I think the game's gonna be a lot closer than people think. I think Micah is gonna be emotional. It's gonna be a heated game. Um, of course, I gotta go with my boys. I think the boys are gonna upset a lot of people. I have a. I don't want to say a score, but it's gonna be close. So I think the
We'll
Cowboys
go
will take
Pickens.
come away with a win. And George Pickens. So we're really excited for that game. Hopefully, you and I are discussing next week. Extremely happy at 2-2, going into a couple relatively easier games after that. But yeah, great episode, man. We appreciate everyone watching. And Humzah, as always, can you take it home for us?
Again, guys, we appreciate all the support, all the love. Again, genuinely, it really means a lot to us. Please like, subscribe if you haven't already. Share it when this comes out. Again, posting every single week. Every week we will be filming. There will be a video every week, so stay tuned. We're
Before
super
we
excited.
Before we finish, for all my hockey fans, next week we will have a segment talking about the Ottawa Senators and the NHL because after that, it's just 1 week away till puck drop. As Canadians, we kind of have to talk about the Sens, and just as much as I'm a Cowboys fan, I am equally a diehard Ottawa Senators fan. So for my viewers who've been patiently waiting all summer, some hockey content will be in the works, and Humza and I are also diehard Golden State Warriors fans, and basketball is going to be here very, very soon. So expect more of a broader sports angle here. Obviously, we'll still talk about the football. We'll still talk about the Cowboys. I stuttered there. Obviously, we'll talk about the Cowboys and all that stuff, but and the NFL. But just know that there will be more sports around the corner very, very soon, and maybe some baseball. The Blue Jays, they're doing pretty well right now. So
And one last thing I will say to all of the soccer fans in the world, people that think Rafinha should have won the Ballon d'Or, you are crazy. Ousmane Dembele 1000% deserves to win the Ballon d'Or. He's the
he
rightful
deserves it.
winner of the Ballon d'Or.
Man City's blue. Always, Man City will always be blue.
And Kylian Mbappe is going to win the 2026 Ballon d'Or. Anyways, that's it
And
for
John
today,
Cena.
guys. Again,
John
we
Cena.
appreciate everything. We'll see you guys.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.